Hello and welcome to Library Drawing Party. Today we're going to be drawing this beautiful sunrise. To get started, we're going to be using our rainbow watercolor set. And let's start with the sun. So I'm going to be taking my yellow and I'm using a fan brush. You can use a regular paintbrush, whatever you have on hand. And I'm going to start in the middle and then work my way out towards the edges. And your brush can be pretty wet for this. Although we do like the texture because it helps convey the sun rays. Okay, once you have your sun rays established, then we can start to put in the blue or the sky. I'm using a light blue for this. Then you can start to blend the blue into the yellow. And we want to see those lines. Let's take our tan. If you don't have a tan, you can mix orange and brown together. We're going to add that for the edge. And this is where you can see the rays the most. So you want to keep as much of the lines as you can. But we don't want to lose our bright yellow color, so you can go in and add some more. And we can darken the blue up a bit. You can see all the lines in the blue. I'm going to leave it because it helps emphasize the sunburst. And how the rays are blending into the sky. I'm going to put a little bit of dark blue in the corner. Almost kind of looks like a clamshell. Once you're happy with your sunrise, then we can start to work on the reflection. This is a sand scene below. You're going to want to make sure your brush is nice and clean because we want the white to show through with the yellow. So we're gonna use yellow and then we're just gonna go straight across. And you want your brush to be pretty dry because we want to get all those lines. It'll help distinguish the beach from the sunburst because we have horizontal lines for the beach and the sun is going in this almost clam direction. Let's take our tan and we're going to add in some more lines going across. And then we can take this down to the base of the picture. Let's take that light blue that we used for the sky. Let's start to add it towards the bottom. We want to try and blend the blue in a bit, but we don't want to lose the lines because the lines is what helps give that beach effect. We'll be adding the black rocks in a bit, but for now let's work on the horizon line. So let's take that sand color and go straight across. And if there's some white, you can fill it in now. I'm going to switch brushes. I'm just going to take the dry brush and just dab so I can blend the colors in. Without losing any of their vibrant tones. Then I'm going to wet the brush a bit and add in a darker brown towards the bottom of the horizon line. And then I'm going to dab again, mix it in. Now for the rocks, I'm going to take a pretty dry brush and start outlining. So I know I have a pretty dark one here, and then it almost like steps. Then it comes up on the other side. And blend the rocks into the water. Then let's draw some waves with the black. Or some ripples. I'm just dotting some wave lines. And then there's a big cluster of waves right here. And a cluster of waves here. And then a smooth wave over here. And then we have some waves in the background. And then some more shadow on the horizon line. If you want it to be darker, you can just go in and add some extra pigment. You can also use the water to blend it in a bit more. And you can use your regular brush to add a bit more color back in. And we can use some water to brighten the center of the sun. You can also take a tissue and remove some of the yellow to bring back some white for a highlight. You could stop here, or you could add in some highlights using correction fluid like I did in my sample drawing. You want to use the highlights sparingly. You want to try and match the strokes. So the size of your lines and your texture is the size that you want your white paint strokes to be. And then you're going to want to let that dry. Once your white paint is dry, you test it by tapping on it. Then we'll use our regular brush. You want it to be pretty dry. And we're going to dab the watercolor paint right on top of our highlights. And the reason that we decided to use the highlights was because even though we're painting the same color over them, it's still gonna show up because the texture of the paint is different than the paper, so it's going to change the way that the watercolor is showing up in the painting. You want to try and just put the paint on the highlights as much as you can. We don't want to add too much color to the background. We're just trying to get it all to blend together. Then we'll take that tan color and put that in. And finally, a little bit of blue. And there you have it. That's our sunrise. Thank you for joining us in this week's library drawing party. We hope to see you again next week. We have library drawing parties every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And keep being creative.